Hey guys, what's going on today?
Hey, Scott.
Hey Scott. Hey Dan.
Brad, always a pleasure. I want to start off by just saying thank you to everyone. Of course, Scott, Barry as well. Gratitude is the core foundation of the team at Trade Ideas. We've all known each other for many years, and we're like a close family. We don't always agree, but we respect one another, and it's just a pleasure to be here with all of you. So the first things first, please understand that everything that we're doing in this presentation is for educational and informational purposes only. We are not a registered investment advisor, and none of the services that are given to you or provided by Trade Ideas are in any way registered investment advice, okay? So we're gonna go deep today, guys. Brad, get on the couch.
I'm laying down.
Brad's gonna have to lay down. Barry, you too, and Waleed. So there's gonna be some things to discuss. Now we've been using this slide before. I'm kind of bringing it up. We're about to launch. Most likely at the beginning of next week, we will launch this, which means that there's going to be a very limited amount of people that are going to be able to purchase the AI that lets you trade the AI with Brokerage Plus for $1,100. We want to make sure that you are aware of this. That's why we have this slide. That's why we have the graphic. You know, this is kind of a mimetic tool to help you understand that there is only going to be 1,000 instances of this. Why are we doing that? It's because we ourselves don't know what we are releasing into the wild. It's that crazy of a situation. It's a completely groundbreaking technology, and because of that, we want to maintain some modicum of control over what it is that we're doing. So this is kind of what it looks like right here, and we're going to dive into it. Again, this slide you've seen before. This is a capture of a performance that I had while I was doing my testing about a month ago. It was in December before I started on my vacation. I was able to catch the down move of the market. Kind of incredible stuff was going on, and just showing you that this is real things can happen. Amazing opportunity, but we are limiting the amount of people. So what I want to do now is I'm going to exit out of here, and I'm going to jump into the product, and this is where we're going to dive deep. Okay. Now, for those of you that are on the test drive, obviously you hopefully have already seen and understand what's the difference between Trade Ideas and really every other vendor on the planet, which is that we create our own data and we provide you with signals to help you get something out of the market. You know, they say that the market can't be beaten. We say that's ridiculous, okay? Now, this is where, Brad, you're on the couch, I'm on the couch. Well, I'm not on the couch, but Brad's on the couch.
On the couch? Come on.
I'm a doctor, Brad, I'm a doctor, okay? But I want to tell you guys something that, you know, concerns me in terms of you guys using our tech, okay? There is a notion that people have in their mind that the software is going to do everything for you while you are playing golf. You will be checking in, getting fat and happy, and the software is printing you money, the goose that laid the golden egg. I want to tell you that as much as all of us, quote unquote, want that thing does not exist. And I want to be very specific why I'm saying this, okay? If there was such a thing as easy money, those that facilitate the money would quickly put an end to it. And what I mean by that is there is competition for returns. When you trade against a counterparty. Some of you guys do not know that, so I want to be specific about what I mean. When you see a stock like, let's say, APY, and you see, I'm going to zoom in here, and you see this signal, boom, okay? So we buy it. Here's the buy signal of APY, and this is the exit signal of APY. So when you bought it, or when the AI bought it, or when all the trade, and I was in it, I got it from someone. Well, who did I get it from? That's slightly a mechanization, but it's an important thing to consider because it could be a natural seller, like somebody who really wanted to sell at the same time and our orders matched. But sometimes it is a counterparty, a market maker, another speculator who is looking for retail order flow because he thinks it's easy money. Okay, Brad, you're aware of this, right?
I'm aware of it.
Brad's been in the game a long time, but a lot of you do not. And that's the thing that I want to really address today is expectations, okay? So I want to really talk about the fact that here you have, let's go over here, tools. Whoops, dang it, Brad, why do you make this thing so hard to navigate for me? Options, okay? AI trade size. So first of all, in this thing, and again, I'm really focusing on the AI because, guys, we have so much information on all the basic stuff of trade ideas, and we're getting really close to release date, so I've got to focus on this, and I've got to say what I need to say, okay? Here, I'm setting up my trade size so that if I get stopped out, okay, I'm going to risk $21 on that. Waleed's been paying attention. I just switched. 21 is 3 times 7, 777, another very potent number. That's where you get the 21. Whereas 34 is 17 times 2, also a potent number. This is just, you know,
3 plus 4 is 7.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's so good. But the point here is that this setting determines my share size. You see this over here. Okay?
Well, not specifically, right? A little indirectly.
Indirectly. I'm saying it is the catalyst that this setting, meaning what I'm willing to risk combined with where the stop is, automatically determines this share size before I do anything.
Yeah, essentially, guys, it basically means if you're going to get stopped out on any of these positions, you're going to lose $21.
Right. Now, listen here, all y'all. I'm from Texas originally, okay? You have to understand within yourself that even on a day, let me put this on risk on mode on all of them because that's how I trade. So when you have a day where Holly the AI, okay, made $61 in risk on and 107 in risk on here, so together that would be 167, let's call it, minus 3, we'll call it 100, let's just call it $160 gross, okay? That means for you to have this money also, you would have to execute exactly at the same prices, never be wiggled out, never be stopped out, and re-enter perfectly. So what I'm trying to say is that it is possible, and you guys should respect this and understand this as speculators, okay? People that put their money to work, that you could be having this result, but when you're trading, number one, you might not get everything the way, depending on how you set things up, right? Okay, because if you're doing limit orders, you might not be in everything. But if you're doing market orders, surely you will not match the exact penny for penny. So it is very possible to be in this situation, right? And after commission, even at a low rate like IB, you could be down $30 potentially, okay, or flat with this kind of result. I want people to understand this because it is critical to not put yourself in a fantasy land when you invest. I was like, Brad, I want to say, okay, everybody that understands, raise your hands.
My hand's up. My hand's up.
Brad understands this, but guys, we are about to release this, right? And the last thing that we want is a bunch of people complaining to us, well, how come my P&L didn't match the AI P&L? Guys, it's not going to be that way. okay? And by the way, since I've been trading, like you saw the picture, you know, there's a couple, let me bring it up again. Okay, a couple of things that are going on. Number one, when the AI is doing stuff, I can kind of get a feel for other market things, which allows me to do some discretionary trading better. So like you can see here, right? I'm able to go, oh, the AI is long, so I can get into some things long, like maybe a little bit bigger size, more liquid, that allows me to take advantage of some things that I otherwise wouldn't. That is, again, going back to, hey, guys, this is not just a money printing goose that laid the golden egg, okay? It's so critical to understand this, because while we are going to get rid of the dexterity issue for you, right? We're going to make it so that you will be automatically in these trades, but understand that in the real world, right? It's just like practice versus game time. You can practice and drill plays all you want. Do you know how well Tiger hits the range? Bruh, do you know how well Tiger hits at the range?
Well, I've only watched him a couple times. It's pretty darn good.
But even Tiger has problems during game time in majors and tournaments. Why? Because game time is not the range. Arguably speaking, ladies and gentlemen, with trade ideas, you get to be in and participate in things that you otherwise never would have been able to, because let's face it, when this stuff comes in, right now you can do it, but you have to do it like this, right click, trade, and you have to figure out which ones you want. This gives you the freedom to do it all if you have the accountability and if you want to. That's the whole notion of it, okay? That's what we are bringing to market. We're going to let you be in things that you otherwise would not have been able to. What will this let you do? Okay, well, look at these percentages, okay? You'll be able to get into some things and possibly, again, either stay in or get in again. One, boom, take some profits, get in again. All of these things are done by everybody that's been at Trade Ideas and has been using our product. So in other words, what I'm saying is, I mean, I hate bringing, Brad, spiritual things into it, but it's kind of like the Bible in a sense that you read it and you interpret what it says in your own way. You can take it literally, you can take it metaphorically, and only you know the way that you're going to behave with it. So here the game plan is laid out. The percentages are laid out, okay? You're going to be able to do things that you have never done before, but it is my duty and my job to give you some proper expectations, including things to know that, look at this, Barry, you know, who I spoke to before we started this webinar, brought up a very important point. So Trade Ideas got you into PTX here, and it didn't go for 3 hours, Brad. But look what happened when it went. Boom.
Yeah, and certainly not out of the norm for the kind of calls that it normally makes, you know. Sometimes right, so it takes a while to percolate.
That's right. So there isn't, again, guys, if there was a magic money-making system, everybody would be doing it. We are giving you the better car, the better navigation, the better fuel efficiency, the better sunroof, the better stereo. Everything is better here. However, you are still in a car, right? You are still confined to the laws of physics. Other pedestrians or other vehicle owners who are out there and about driving, you know, and just, it's so important for us to make you understand that, be aware, right? That if you are expecting this thing to instantly start paying your mortgage, and if that's your goal, well, you might be setting your sights too high. Because again, this is not exactly how this works. Waleed is correct. It's still a man and machine scenario. Investing is an allocation of capital, speculation. You have better information, and we have created a better set of rules for you to work with. Brad, what is an algorithm? You know, a lot of people, they don't know what it is.
It's a fancy word for really just that. It's a set of rules. It's a set of instructions that get followed in a systematic way.
That's right, in a sequential way. There's an if-then. If this is happening, do this. If that happens, do that. And if the result of that is this, then do the following. Now, if, and so on and so. Now, the best part, guys, is that remind yourself. Now, I'm kind of giving you all of the disclaimers. This is not at all going to change the outcome of what happens when we release this, and the fact that we're going to be changing the landscape and the market and all these things that I've been talking about forever. Look at the percentages. 10. You know, this is still stuff that you don't hear about during the day from your CNBCs and your Bloombergs and all the other people. I mean, nothing's changed in the fact that we know that being self-directed, doing it yourself, is better than just giving it up to other people. Okay? That is not what we're not saying anything different there, but we just want to make sure that you understand that that you still are in the real world of investing. Okay? And when you are in the real world of investing, there is a component to it that is swimming with sharks. Brad, I mean, you and I, we've talked about this forever, and I'm going to kind of not per se veer off track. But what I want to say is that the counterparties that execute your trades, they look at your stop orders, they can see them. We're going to change that, but right now they can still see them. And there's all sorts of other shenanigans that takes place when people are trading against you. So from my perspective, I just want to make sure that everybody understands that never, ever, 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 ever did we ever say that, hey guys, we've got the goose that laid the golden egg.
No, but she's a pretty nice goose.
I mean, it's absolutely. Now, guys, we have been, of course, talking about this for a very long time. The AI has existed now for, when do we want? End of 2016? So 2 years? So there's plenty of people that have been trading it, trading off of it. And again, notice, I'm going to bring back to Barry's example of PTX, okay? It's not like the AI does stuff and then doesn't give you a chance, right? I mean, here, it just takes a little bit of faith and also visibility into your portfolio and what you're doing. But, ladies and gentlemen, you are still going to be in the market. You're going to learn what the market is like for real, and you will be contending with other speculators. And that's what I mean by trading and swimming with sharks. Now, Fernando, obviously, all of this is already included. I mean, there's tons of, if you even look at trade ideas, there's a disclaimer and legal document that you check off that you understand all the things that I'm saying. It's kind of like the Apple agreement that nobody reads, and all that stuff is in there. And before you start with Brokerage Plus, of course, you will need to have a funded account with Interactive Brokers. And from Interactive Brokers' point of view, all the trades are being done by you. So you are responsible for everything. I mean, you guys have to know that. We are simply automating a set of rules that you say you want automated. That is what you need to understand. We are automating a set of rules that you, having observed what we do, want to be automated. We're so excited about this because no one's ever done this before. Not like this. And the thing is, we have just been from here to here to here in one of the more challenging, whipsawy market environments that you could almost ever come in contact with, like big wave surfing, to go from This situation, if you guys can see my screen on the daily, on the S&P, we were at 281 at the beginning of December, and then by the end of December, we're at 232 to, by February, go back to really right back to where we started. It's like imagine a football team, a professional football team, and all of the plays are specialty plays, like the Statue of Liberty and the Hail Mary, and everyone's like, what is going on? Every kickoff is a two-point conversion. Brad, am I doing good in football terms?
I mean, I think it's full-on football analogy, right? That's what you're doing.
Totally. But that's the thing. And people often, again, do not see the forest through the trees. We cannot and do not even begin to attempt to predict the market. REI is not predicting. REI is giving you a roadmap of statistics. Okay? Statistics are what they are. They are statistic. Okay? They are not futuristics, and they are not magic 8 balls. They are a way they're a way to do learned behavior more effectively. What we learn through repetition, our software learns through number crunching. What we learn by emotional bloody noses of having lost and then hopefully learn something when you correct the behavior that made you lose, and also being able to differentiate what was success and what was failure. That's the stuff, guys, that's super cool that we have automated. All the learning, the Monte Carlo, the fact that, and we've said this before, the fact that right now all these trades are back in kind of the realm of the AI, where it's fighting and going back and trying to figure out how to improve this performance. Today, Brad, one short trade, but even that one was
a great short trade. It was one of the target hits, and that's always a nice thing. And you can see visually.
But not only that, it was a target hit early. Like, this is where they go. Time is money, and here you got in, quick target hit, a retraced almost back to it, and then boom, just fell through, and then it stayed there in this over target area for in an hour and a half or more before kind of running back up and settling. But that's the point where an astute speculator can take that information, look at it, and speculate accordingly. A non-astute one, does nothing. You have. It
reminds me, Dan. Actually, there's some very new functionality that's going to be ported out next week with this new release of Brokerage Plus. But in that bottom Holly Neo window, you've got B. It was a straight out of Compland strategy. Can you click on that one? BEAT, the top one.
Yes, sir. Straight out of Compland.
Yeah, and so this is a little bit of, and also on this bottom window, scroll all the way to the right, if you wouldn't mind. There are a few fields that are invisible on this Holly Neo trades window. No, on the trades window down below.
Yep.
Yeah, that one. Scroll to the right. Yeah, there you go. So this is a little bit of, and all the way to the right, new bit of functionality that we're incorporating in, which is our re-entry function. So all of these have, every one of these trades has a protective stop on there. Something, whereas if this price passes a certain threshold, whether it's a short or a long, it's going to get you out and say, we're done with this particular trade. But we're giving it an opportunity to re-enter in once it crosses another threshold, and that threshold is a midway point between the stop price and the original AI signal. So if you so choose and you have that option inside of Brokerage Plus to re-enter back in, then you can do that, and it'll automatically do it. But we're also going to provide the mechanism on the AI window so that you can see that and see that opportunity presenting itself in real time.
So by the way, of course, as your friendly neighborhood chef tester, this was the one, was one of the best re-entries that we've ever had. And Captain Fat Finger me, I did not get into this one today. I'll tell you exactly why. And this is something for you to learn here. It is very important to kind of understand that you know what your settings are. And simply put, since the re-entry stuff is relatively new that we put in, I had forgotten to set my re-entry mode of getting in at market. and instead it was at limit. And as you can see that this thing kind of got us in, it got us out because it moved through some volatility, but then instantly should have had me back in. And then this was like a 2.5 point gain on the re-entry that I missed because I forgot to adjust the way I re-enter. Okay, so this super cool stuff, and we're bringing this back to you. This goes back to taking it to another level. You know, what did we notice since we've been here? What we've noticed is we want to get you as close to this, or sometimes even better. You know, I often trade around some of the signals, and I'm trying to improve upon them. That's the thing. The AI gives you a roadmap, and you see where you go, you see how much distance, etc. I'm giving the analogy to your navigation system, you know, but you still have to manage the traffic and the driving, and certainly if somebody like is losing control next to you, well, you will be slowing down, etc. So that's the kind of stuff I want you guys to understand. That's the thing that you want to be able to get with. Now, Bob S is saying, are there any tutorials and webinars for swing trading? Okay, Bob, I love you. Swing trading. I want to tell you guys what swing trading really is. Now, and Bob, please do not take this the wrong way. I'm only using your question as because it's so pertinent psychologically. Brad, let me tell you what I have discovered recently as what is swing trading. Swing trading is when you get in and you just give yourself some reason to stay in without like taking action. Now, by the way, does that mean that when you're in, you have to get out or all the time? No, that does not mean you can keep positions as long as you want. It's all about risk management. But when people say, and Bob, again, I'm only using you as an example here, not specifically. When people say I'm a swing trader, that scares me because it says that, well, you're not prepared to take action when action is needed. Okay, remember, Bob, we're going to get you back in if need be. We usually say that, hey, every stock can be a swing trade. For example, if you're in beat and you really want to swing it, here's your swing exit. Notice, Bob, every single stock you're in, from Microsoft to Apple, AAPL, has a swing exit. Okay? Now, what does that mean? Well, it means that we're saying, look, if you've got the money, and if you want to be buying Apple at 174, and you really want to stay with it, and I mean through the long term, okay? Well, in theory, right, using mathematics and statistics, if you want to be a long-term player, well, here's your swing exit. That's where we're over here. It's really going to start to test all of these people, and that's where we would say, be careful. And this adjusts every day depending on where the market is. As it's going up, this is going up. As it's going down, it'll go down. But we typically simply say, do not pigeonhole yourself into a definitional thing where you say, I'm this and I'm that before the trade happens. Let the trade manifest itself, and then you decide for yourself. Like, for example, me, if I was not a long-term holder of Apple, I wouldn't be buying it here because, well, dang, there's too many points in the swing exit. I would just be trading it and, you know, hopefully get into a flow where it goes and I don't have to exit. And this thing starts to move up and I'm fine.
Like PTX, an example, Dan, you know, like if you look at that and you zoom out on the daily, it's giving you a good price. It's keeping you positive at the end of the day. And at that point, you know, it just has to be your decision on how much risk you want to take. Do you want to keep it, hold it?
Well, here's your swing exit, 0.39. It's just that by that point, right? I mean, this is and it will adjust after today, probably move up somewhere over here. But the thing is, again, think logically. There are so many opportunities that we're going to give you where, you know, if you're stuck in quote unquote Apple waiting for your swing exit to hit, what are you doing? Well, you're tying up buying power, you know, which is not very good for your other potential trades. Those are all the things that kind of like are like the foundational stumbling blocks that people don't get into. Now, Bob, listen, the fact that you have a day job, in reality, we kind of invented Brokerage Plus specifically for that. Because, well, you can be kind of letting Brokerage Plus do all this stuff without having to go, it's going to do stuff for you. But you don't have to be tinkering so hard. You're just at the higher, you're like the captain of the ship, right? And the thing is, the captain says, okay, go or stop, or like, he's making big decisions. I've made enough money, or, I've lost enough money. Those are the captain kind of decisions. Now, the crew, they're doing like the rudder check and the missile check, or making sure that there's food in the kitchen. That's what our AI is doing. That's what the algorithm's doing. So, and you brought up a very good point, which is that trade ideas, no matter what you do, and let's go through every single one real quick. By the way, notice right here, there's something called idea surfing. So if I click on this, what you'll see is that by itself, it will take you through all of the trades. And notice every single one of them, some of them you're closer to the swing exit, and on some of them, you'll be farther away. That just depends on what is going on with the stock. Okay, but every single thing we have tried to do for you. It's just that, of course, because no one knows the future, that's the part where, requires the kind of time machine technology that only somebody has that Brad and I know about, but nobody else. Right, Brad?
Right, Dan.
Okay. So let's kind of wind up. What have we learned today? Very important stuff. We're about to launch this. Trade Ideas, Brokerage Plus, and Holly together to give you the ability to get into these trades, get back into them, and probably harness, hopefully, the P&L of this amazing technology. You will be able to trade around it. This is what people do. You will be able to change your positioning. You can even go reverse on some of them. And everybody does different things their own way. We do not say which way to do it. We will have tons of educational material that goes over the specifics of everything that I'm generalizing here, in terms of how to set up your Brokerage Plus, what kind of orders to use, how to execute. All of these things, this is what we've been doing for decades. We have this whole system that is educational, and we already know you have to have a curriculum of your own technology and how it manifests in the market so that our customers are not flying blind. We've been doing this forever. So when you go to our website, I'm going to kind of get back into the presentation here real quick. Fernando, I'll get on that in a second. So all of these things on our website, you will see Trade Ideas University. You're going to see all the different classes. And at the very high level, what we do here on this slide is just kind of give you a perspective of what our software costs on a per daily basis for being able to calculate odds in real time and, in essence, be a card counter in Las Vegas. Think about this, okay? We do not bill it daily, of course. It's done monthly or annually, but just think about it in terms of what it actually costs. And today, by the way, please make note, Holly is love, 15% off of your first month or year of Trade Ideas. That's the promo code for your gracious time with myself and Brad and our team to help you kind of ease into it. Always happy to help people that are that are here and they listen. So what's going on right now is since the Monday, we've been in our winter test drive. We do these quarterly, again, not exact dates, but you still can do it. And there's 7 hours and change left to get into the test drive, and it is good for 5 trading days. So you will be good from Wednesday to next Wednesday once you sign up. And this is the link. trade-ideas.com/test drive. Gentleman by the name of Barry Anderson runs our Trade Ideas trading room, where he has been on this open house campaign. He's been showing you the AI, showing you how he interacts with it, and we have never from the beginning told Barry to make every single AI trade or anything like that. Barry and everybody else, you have to do it on your own. You got to know what is in you to do it. Okay, but this trading room is free. It's always been free. There's a meritocracy of very good traders and a community that helps one another. We encourage anybody that wants to window shop, that this is where they go. trade-ideas.com/trading room, and Barry is there all the time. He makes recordings of videos, and we have a vast video library at Trade Ideas to help you through all the elements of getting set up, logged in, and using the technology. Some of the things that we've been doing is, of course, our podcast, and we bring guests on. I've actually been traveling with family and stuff like that, so I've not been able to do the podcast, Brad, but I think I should be there this Friday, maybe. If Jamie will have me, who knows?
he just may.
He just may. But again, we've gotten very positive feedback, and on the podcast, we go, full tilt. There's no holding back, and lots of really good stuff. You get to really understand where we come from, and the fact that what makes us so special is that we really, and this is a simple thing, guys, and we've talked about it quite a bit, we use our technology. All of the people at Trade Ideas use Trade Ideas. So we're not just salesmen. It's like the hair club for men. We're also a customer. Mike, this is true. Heading back there in February to Colorado. So another thing that you have to know, guys, is that although we have been running up just recently and the market's been tearing up since the bottoms, remember what I showed you in that picture? Let me see hold on a second here. Okay, look at this picture, okay? So this picture is of me being up like 5,000, using Brokerage Plus. These are the things that's showing you what's going on. Look, I'm short. Look at these. Look at the gains here. Look at this. Okay? This is just an example of the fact that if you are not taking advantage of the short side, you are missing potentially half of the alpha. And most people don't do it. So remember that. Most people do not take advantage of the short side. That doesn't mean you get married to it. Doesn't mean you fall in love with the short side, which I've had a tendency to do before. But that goes back to what we said previously, is that we have the informational and educational material to help you learn how to do it. And this is one of the things that we do, Post BTFD Market. It's a free ebook, and you can check it out at trade-ideas.com/ebook. We are here for you. Gratitude, again, the highest vibrational frequencies. We're about to release this thing. And while your CEO, being the super patriot that he is, has been banned from all social media, we have other people who have not been banned. Brad? We do, right? Not everyone.
We do. It's not you for sure, but we do have some great content providers out there.
At Trade Ideas is our corporate account. At QuantBob, Jamie. At Today Trader, Mr. Steve Gomez. And of course, we participate in social media. While we do not like Mr. Zuckerberg, watching all of our trades and having pictures of our family, we do participate in the medium to help support what we do here, because that's how people learn about us. Please send us an email at info@trade-ideas.com, and you can always call us. Brad, do we have any other questions? Is there anything that I have missed?
I don't see anything. No, we're caught up.
Okay, so what I'm going to say again is that in terms of this particular programming, I didn't want to spend the whole hour, diving into every single trade. Remember, guys, this is going on. It's about to launch. Only 1,000. Fernando had asked if how do you pre-register? There's no. I think we've got rid of that. We've taken all of the pre-accounts, but there is still room So we didn't sell out of them in pre-selling, only because, again, that's not something that we're not on the, we don't really pump the sales like I think other people suspect that people pump sales. We're really wanted to be, you've got to want this, you know? And if we're trying to sell it hard to you, that means that we're not doing the right thing. You've got to want it for yourself, okay? So, Fernando, you will be able to purchase it. I'm pretty sure, Brad, I mean, give me the high level. Do you think we might be able to go by Wednesday? Tuesday?
Yeah, I think I'm not going to give you a date next week, but I'm pretty sure it'll be next week.
Yeah, so next week, and then that's really when we're going to get rid of all, obviously take away everybody who's deposited and let them purchase the software, then start the count to 1,000, and that's where it's going to be. We're very excited about this, and you know, we are hoping for everyone's success and are just grateful for, you know, the fact that you guys are here and paying attention. Let's see, what's Mike saying? Yeah, so Mike, MACD. Let me just tell you guys something that most of you at Trade who come to our webinars kind of know. But if there's stuff that you know, like MACD, RSI, Stochastic, Bollinger, Kelter, Itchy Scratchy, I Dream of Genie, and Shazam, we've tried it. We are at the apex of finding stuff. In fact, there's never shortage of finding stuff. It's what happens after. Okay? We are literally testing and pushing the envelope of everything that is possible in terms of entries. It's just that, guys, remember, an entry is just that. You don't know what happens until the end, right? And sometimes what looks perfect in hindsight, right? And this is the problem with statistical analysis versus a time machine. Well, your trade could change the behavior of the one person that changed the behavior of the next person and change the trend. This is all possible, you know? Whereas a time machine just tells you what happens at the end. And that's kind of where I think the confusion is. Listen, Brad and I have gone to when we were a younger firm trying to figure out what other people do, Brad and I went to a hotel presentation of TC 2000. And in that and Warden, you know, they're decent guys. They compete with us, all good. In fact, they're probably one of the only real competitors out there who's been around so long. They have a decent product. Nothing bad. But someone had, you know, but they were just trying to come up with something of a scanner, which they still haven't done. That's where we're the best at, etc. But someone said, hey, you guys have all these technical indicators. Can you tell us which ones worked? And the guy at the presentation, he's like, you know, we don't do any of that. You know why? Because they wouldn't be called technical indicators. If they work, they'd be called, I don't know, he did say name, Brad, I forgot what he said, but the whole point of it is technical indicators tell you what is technically happening. It's a technical indication, not a future happenstance indication. Words are important. Understand that. Okay? That's why there is no hedge fund in the world that manages money based on technical analysis. Okay? Think about that for a minute. Not a single hedge fund makes money using technical analysis. We are not in the technical analysis game. We are in the statistics game. We have better number crunching. We have faster servers, and we can do things algorithmically, meaning like in sequence that others can't because we keep track of things differently. That's the advantage that we bring to the table. And that's enough of an advantage since nobody else does it. Let's see here, Fernando. Shoot an email to info@trade-ideas.com. We'll answer that in terms of, but you will get a spot. I mean, I would tell you if we were down to like the last 100, so you're okay.
All right, let me take this next question. Dennis is asking whether you need interactive brokers to use trade ideas, and you don't. Look, so trade ideas, we're an idea generation platform. We find the ideas that are happening in the marketplace, but we've created another module to trade ideas called Brokerage Plus, and Brokerage Plus allows you to automate automate any strategy or automate our artificial intelligent ideas. And to do that, to use that, you'll need interactive brokers, a brokerage account for that. But trade ideas will link up with so many different brokerage platforms where you click on a symbol, it'll update, your brokerage platform as well. So a lot of different ways people use trade ideas.
We have lots of people that trade with E-Trade, TD Ameritrade. Every single brokerage that's viable in the US, people are using trade ideas to trade with it. So as Brad said, but to execute, and right now, you need interactive brokerage for Brokerage Plus. And we'll be adding other brokers soon, but they're going to have to pay up. I think that's it. Scott, are we all good?
I think that covers it. Remember, guys, the test drive sign-up deadline is tonight at midnight. Go to trade-ideas.com/test drive if you want to give it a shot. We'll have a recording up later on tonight or tomorrow, and you get an email update reminder about how to find it tomorrow. And thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Grateful for your time. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks, Scott, Barry, Brad. We will see you soon.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.